What are crowds really like in Universal Studios, and what do you need to do to make the most out of your day? We're gonna find out. Let's go. So I am here today at Universal Studios, Florida, to see what wait times are really looking like. It's currently mid-September, so school has started back, but this is also when people like to take their vacations because they know school has started back. So I'm eager to see what the wait times will look like and to see what tips and tricks we can find out to help you make the most of your vacation. So I am walking down the main entrance to Universal, passing Despicable Me Minion Mayhem. That is a tongue twister for me. And it's honestly looking pretty busy. I'm a little bit surprised. For security, it did take me a few minutes to get through, so I'm eager to see what today looks like. Pro tip, if you're coming, try to come earlier. The crowds have definitely slept in a little bit, so I did not take as much advantage as I could, but I'm really here to see what the busiest wait times will look like for the biggest rides, and not necessarily how fast I can get through them. As you can also see, it's currently Halloween Horror Nights right now, and that's something that I'm just probably not gonna partake in. But Quincy, this one's for you. I hope you loved it. I'm glad you came instead of me. All right, so I just checked out those wait times, and I don't know if what's happening today, but I'm feeling pretty darn good because Despicable Me, in my opinion, is a great way to indicate what the parks are looking like that day. And for me, it's showing right now that Despicable Me is only 35 minutes. I'm actually gonna head back to Harry Potter because traditionally, Escape from Gringotts is one of the biggest wait times. Right now, it's only showing 15 minutes. That is insane. So we're gonna see if it actually takes us 15 minutes because, I don't know, that just sounds too good to be true in my opinion. That almost sounds unrealistic to me. So we're gonna see what happens. There's actually a lot of construction going on right now. RIP to the Shrek ride, thinking of Quincy today. And they have a lot of the booths up for Halloween Horror Nights. It's a lot of fun. I love getting to see all of the different things they add. I'm really excited to see what they do with the Shrek 4D area. But even walking through here, there's not a lot of people, which is very surprising to me because again, security and getting into the parks felt a little bit crowded. So I'm really pleasantly surprised so far. But like I said, it almost feels too good to be true. I just don't know. I never have good luck, so we're gonna see if this is real. It feels fake. We're headed over to the area in front of Mummy, and if you've ever heard me talk about pinch points before, sometimes this can be a pinch point. So what are pinch points if you don't know? Basically, it's just where big crowds can be. This one isn't always a pinch point, especially because you can see how wide the area is, but with Mummy recently reopened, it might become a pretty bad one again. So always keep that in mind if you're coming on your next trip, that this area might be pretty congested, and if you want to avoid that, there are several ways to do it. Oh my goodness, the train is fully closed today.
I saw the train go.
That's heartbreaking. I love the train. Okay, well, that's surprising though because the wait times are still low and the train's not gonna be running. I'm betting money. I just think the wait times are gonna have to spike at some point. I don't even know what to say at this point. This is insane. This is pure insanity. I swear, I get chills every time I walk back here. I did prepare today because I didn't want to utilize lockers unless I absolutely had to. So I brought just my fanny pack. I'm gonna resituate it, put it around my waist, and then I'm gonna hop in line for apparently a 15-minute ride on Escape from Gringotts. Here we go, attraction entrance. It says 15 minutes. I don't know what's happening. Hey look, it's me after not sleeping for a few days. Looking rough. I respect it. Sometimes when my scalp gets sunburnt, I feel like this guy on the right. Like, just absolutely roasted alive.
Well, don't let me keep you from your tour. I just need to pick up a few things and I'll be on my way.
Who doesn't? I got distracted and I started walking around Harry Potter. Not Harry Potter. I started walking around Diagon Alley because of course I did. I honestly think I was probably cursed, a little magic spell. I just got distracted and I started shopping and then I thought, oh no, that's not why we're here. Can you see how sweaty? The glow that's happening, it's not a positive glow, it's a sweat glow. It's 10:32 and it's incredibly warm. I'm off topic. I'm gonna check wait times, we're gonna see where we're headed next, and then maybe our luck continues? We see our crowds genuinely non-existent, or did they just sleep in? We're gonna find out. Well, I just checked wait times and it looks like the Mummy, which is recently reopened, is 45 minutes right now. That also feels low to me. So I'm gonna go, talking heads, you know. I feel like him sometimes, like just chit-chatting but not really going anywhere. Does that make sense? Probably not. But I'm gonna go hop in line for Mummy because I wanna see if it's honest and if these wait times are accurate, because this last one was not. All right, so we're headed out this way, and then of course, because the Mummy is supposed to take, or supposedly will take 45 minutes, I'm gonna take a moment and do some coffee science while we're waiting. Not waiting, we're gonna do it on our way to the waiting. Okay, I'll be the one to say it. The Jaminators look pretty different. Maybe younger? Different uniforms too. But that's the Jaminators, right? Okay, coffee secured. It took me 13 minutes to grab it. It was 8 minutes waiting in line and then a few more to grab the actual drink. The fact that that was more than Escape from Gringotts is insane. Happy though. Let's go hop in line for Mummy and then see where the day takes us. As we're leaving Starbucks, one thing I do think I should say is that Starbucks definitely can get busy in the mornings. Very busy. Right now wasn't that bad. They moved the line pretty quickly, but if you're wanting to do coffee, I would suggest waiting until maybe a little bit later in the day, or my pro tip is always drink coffee at your hotel. It's just gonna be faster. It's gonna be guaranteed that you don't have to waste time in lines. But on days like today, when things are moving semi-quickly, maybe it's not too bad to wait in lines. Definitely up to you and yours, but if you're looking to save time and not wait in lines, definitely grab coffee at the hotel. Revenge of the Mummy is a thrill ride here in Universal. It's very dark, has several intense scenes. It is a type of roller coaster. It is definitely not family friendly. You must be 48 inches tall to ride minimum, and it takes place throughout, the queue takes place throughout the making of the Mummy film, where you get a few behind the scenes things, and then they talk about the Magi and his talisman and how it's keeping them safe on set. But then you find out, maybe it's not quite keeping them safe, and all of it is real. Dun, dun, dun. Let's hop in line. I always talk about how I hate not wearing Mickey ears here because I feel not fully dressed. Should these be my new Mickey ears? I kind of love it. Is this the new Mickey? Let me know. Alrighty, champs. Full transparency. I forgot what that ride was like. Genuinely. I was shaking. My hands are still shaking a little. I have not been on that ride in a hot minute through just having not been to Universal as frequently as I go to Disney, but then also it's been under refurbishment every time I've been here in the past, or like, you know, really recently. So I just forgot. When I tell you the moment they put my lap bar down, something in me was like, what's happening? I literally just got nauseous. I don't know why. I was so scared. I was scared every single second of that. I wish I was kidding. It might have been because I chugged a coffee and, you know, thinking logically, probably that's it. But my goodness, overall, so much fun. And I was just genuinely, I don't know what I thought was gonna happen. I just forgot. It was so much fun. It was such a great time, but definitely probably not family friendly, I would not say. It's very dark, a huge majority of it. They have several of the jump scare isn't the appropriate word necessarily, but they have several things kind of popping out at you. The first mummy, especially at the beginning, is very realistic. So if you have some kids that are tall enough to ride it, but maybe are still a little bit younger, definitely be cautious with this one. It was more intense than I remembered, but super fun for adults who are into that kind of thing. And also Brendan Fraser. So, okay, I was successfully mummified and then brought back to life. I have escaped from Gringotts. Oh, my goodness. And what I did coffee science, and it's literally just now 11:30. Been in the park for an hour and a half, and oh my gosh, pigeons. But been in the park for about an hour and a half, and I did two of the easily the biggest rides here, and I did coffee, and I'm just wandering too. Like, hello, has anyone seen the crowds? Because I can't find them. I see people here, and yet nothing. So I'm gonna hop over to Islands of Adventure and see if maybe there are more crowds there, or maybe this is the time to come. Maybe that's the tip and trick. We're gonna find out. Unfortunately for me, the Hogwarts Express is still down, and it will be down for the rest of the day. I did check with a team member, so that means I am walking. But unlike Disney, these are basically next door. They are very, very close to one another. It's almost similar to Disneyland and Disney's California Adventure. You just walk a few little feet. I mean, it's further than that, but not by much. You walk just a little bit and you're there at the next park. Normally, I always choose to take the Hogwarts Express just because I think it's a fun experience, and sometimes I could be a little lazy. But today, we are forced to walk. So we head back out the exit and to the other side. Okay, I've only walked a few feet. I still haven't even made it out of Universal, and there's sweat pouring down my face. And it's not even that hot. I'm gonna check the temperature. Okay, it's only 86. I say only, but you know, like, if you're a Florida person, you know what I mean. Like, only 86? That's not that bad. I'm pouring sweat right now. So, here's going up, and the adventure continues. So, out of just pure curiosity, I have walked this several times. Like I said, I normally will skip it and I'll wait in line for Hogwarts Express. But I was curious, even though I have walked it before, how long does it actually take me? I don't know. I mean, kudos to them. That thing gives me headaches every time, and I still go on it because I have fun. But I always am curious, okay, how long does it take me? And then I realized I don't know. So I've started my timer. We're gonna see how long it takes me. As you can see, I mean, I'm sitting here looking at City Walk. There's obviously no one down here. Traditionally, there aren't people down here, but even going across the bridge over there into Islands of Adventure, nobody. What is happening? Have we just found the best day of the year to be here? The research continues. Is this how people feel when they trek through the desert? I'm so glad I put my hair up. The sweat that's rolling down my scalp? I didn't even know sweat rolled down scalps. This is my Heroian trek. Those aren't words, and I know what I mean, and I think you know what I mean. Okay, so we made it to Islands of Adventure. Again, it's only a few minutes. I need to stop my timer as soon as we get up here, grab my card, but even though it's only a few minute walk, my goodness, is it warm. Which it is still September, and I know I keep saying that, but September is still really warm, especially because we're in Florida, one of the hottest times of the year. If you're gonna be here, always make sure you have your sunscreen, your water, sometimes fans, Whatever helps you keep cool absolutely is a necessity, whether you're coming to Disney World, Universal, or just Florida in general. Okay, we made it in, and of course, because I am technically doing what we consider park hopping, there weren't lines because most people, you either start or, start at one park and then go a little bit later in the day. I'm going about midday, so I'm gonna pull over here in the shade and we're gonna check out the wait times for Islands of Adventure. I gotta be real with y'all. I'm still out of breath, and I'm fully in the park at this point. It wasn't even a long walk. Oh, my timer. Sorry for that pause. I successfully stopped my timer. And for me to leave Universal, walk over here, tap in, and find a shady spot to stand in, it only took me 4.5 minutes. But it felt like a lifetime, unfortunately, because it was just so warm. And that's on me. That's on me for not being more in shape. That's on me for not having my water bottle handy, That's on me for being in Florida. But my goodness, I'm out of breath. So let's check the wait times, cool down. Luckily, I found a fan. I don't even see a fan, but there's definitely a fan somewhere. So I'm gonna chill here for a second, check out some wait times, and then see where we're headed. Okay, I just checked the wait times, and to no one's surprise, let alone mine, the highest wait time right now is for Hagrid's Magical Creature Motorbike Adventure. That is a name, and it's a long one, and it's at 75 minutes. That's no surprise to me. Hagrid's is one of the most popular rides here in all of Universal Studios, not just Islands of Adventure. It's a ton of fun, a big roller coaster, so of course 75 minutes. And also I should note that Velocicoaster is down right now, so that wait time is gonna spike because Velocicoaster is not an option right now. So I'm gonna head over that way, maybe might stop for lunch first and see what the mobile order situation looks like here, and then head on for my 75-minute wait. So one thing I also don't love about walking to Islands of Adventure from Universal or vice versa is, unfortunately for me, we're headed to Harry Potter and the Wizarding World, and the Wizarding World in Islands of Adventure is in the back, so there's really no quick way for us to walk there. We will have to walk through the whole left side of the park, right side of the park, whichever way I decide to go. It is a big circle, but if you take the Hogwarts Express, you can get there immediately and not have to walk all the way around, which would have been perfect for me, but that's okay. We're getting our steps in today. As I'm walking, of course, I'm thinking about what I want to eat, and because we are going back into the Wizarding World at Hogsmeade, I really, really, really would like the 3 broomsticks. I just think that sounds really good. So that's probably where I'm gonna eat. But one thing I will say about Universal that I really enjoy is I think they have some great quick service options. They've got lots of really good food. And while Disney has some of my favorite things on the planet, I think it's a really nice mix-up from just the chicken nuggets, hot dogs, and burgers, which of course they do have here. They have some awesome other options too, which I can really appreciate. There she is. She's in sight. Hogsmeade. Very excited about this. One thing that I think is so funny, and my brain cannot wrap itself around my mind, is all the snow. I think it is so fun. It's one of my favorite things about Hogsmeade is that it's snow, it's covered in snow. It's very whimsical, and I am simultaneously sweating through my scalp apparently. Made it to the 3 broomsticks. The 3 broomsticks is a restaurant here. It is a quick serve, and it's something, it has fish and chips, beef pasties, shepherd's pie, a good classic Harry Potter meal. They have lots of options that are family friendly. So as you can see, it's a pretty hefty line through here. And normally I would probably make a different decision, but I really am curious to see, based on wait times for the rides, how long this will take me. So I've set my timer. We've gotten started, and honestly, it smells amazing in here, so I'm happy to stick around. So I ended up going with a shepherd's pie, which I'm very excited about. Shepherd's pie has ground beef, lamb, vegetables, and then it's topped off with some lovely potatoes, which I'm very excited about. It did take me about 18 minutes to grab this, which is my longest wait of the day. That to me is really interesting because the line, although it moved quickly, it did take a little while. So you can see that this is one of the most popular things here in the Wizarding World, but I really enjoyed this location. I really like the food. I'm glad I got a side salad, and they do have the free waters as well, which I really appreciate. And then because it is so busy, they have team members walking around who choose your seats for you, so you always get a seat. You don't have to wander. They help you find it. And you don't have to wander here because your utensils and your condiments and salt and pepper are here on the table. going in for our first bite. I'm very excited. I normally get the fish and chips here, but I've been getting those a lot in the UK pavilion over at Disney. So I thought I would mix it up and try some shepherd's pie. I love shepherd's pies. Actually, chicken pot pie is one of my favorite things in the world. And like, although they're not the same, it's a similar concept to me, and I love it. So as you see this to me, that's really good. So the meat is really well prepared. There's a nice good gravy on it. The mashed potatoes are good. They're not super well seasoned, but I don't think they need to be, because the gravy and the meat and the vegetables, that's what they're called, the vegetables inside really make up for that. I mean, I normally am somebody who loves a lot of salt, so I mean, I might add some salt to this, but really enjoyable. If you don't like lots of lamb and you don't like ground meat this way, you're not going to enjoy this, but I think it's a good option. Well, apparently lunch was the best decision I could have made right now. A, because I think this is a great time to go ahead and hop out of the heat. We are getting into the later afternoon now. It's almost 1 o'clock, so I think it's a perfect time to go ahead and hop out. Maybe even getting a dining reservation or somewhere that you can just guarantee get out of the heat. I think this is a great time to do it. But another thing, while I was in there, right before I went in, Hagrid's was at 75, so I figured, okay, that's a long time. I'm gonna get hungry, I'll eat before. Also, turns out it dropped to 45 minutes. It is still currently the highest wait in the park, so I am gonna go hop in line, but my goodness, 45 minutes? That's amazing. Let's go before it raises again. All right, so Hagrid's Magical Creature Adventure, which is my next stop, is a roller coaster where you get to sit in Hagrid's motorbike, or you can sit in his sidecar and go through crazy adventures where you go see lots of magical creatures, and there are tons of surprises at the end. Of course, there is a height requirement for this ride. It is not necessarily for the faint of heart. It's a fun roller coaster that I think is a great time, but it's definitely more intense, especially for younger kiddos. So maybe consider doing smaller rides before this one, or really making sure to check for those height requirements, because it can be more intense and it is very fast. That might not have looked that fast, but the first time I rode this ride, it took my breath away. So definitely something to remember. We're in line. Check. Timer started. Check. Full stomach from lunch. Check, but maybe a bad check, because why would I eat that much before we come on a roller coaster that throws you around? Decisions have been made, and I'm gonna let you know how those decisions impact me later. One thing I really love about this queue is all of the little details. So here's the back of Hagrid's hut with some big pumpkins. As you can see, some of them are rotting, but it's a lot of fun. I think it's really the attention to detail that I enjoy so much about the Wizarding World. Announced that Hagrid's just went down for weather. I went ahead and marked the time. I've only been in line for a handful of minutes. I'll go double check that and tell you the exact time, but I'm eager to see how long we'll wait from here, or if they'll make us exit the queue. They basically announced this will take an unlimited amount of time, so everybody's leaving the queue. I think I'm also going to leave the queue, because at this point it's not a realistic show of crowds, it's just a show of weather. And that's not really why I'm here today, so I'm gonna pop out, see what other rides are looking like, especially now that outside rides have gone down. And we're gonna see what those wait times look like and how weather can impact crowds. So let's go do that. So as you can see, this is the group that left. There is a lot more people out in the front. I did hesitate a minute to try to decide what to do. Just because I love this ride. Don't want to leave unless I have to. But even though it's not raining, there is a lot of lightning. And they said additionally, it will take well over an hour to get the ride started back up. So it just didn't feel like the best use of my time while I'm here. Let's see what's happening elsewhere. Well, cats, I can't believe I'm about to say this, but the highest wait time is King Kong. King Kong is not a favorite of mine, because I don't think it's some of their best work, I'll just put it that way. I don't think it's that great, and it's 50 minutes. Everything else is like 15, 20. So you can see as soon as this shut down and all of the other outside rides shut down, which you can see there's a lot of rides closed for weather, that wait time skyrocketed. I'm gonna check one more time before I walk all the way over there to make sure, but I'm pretty sure that's the biggest wait time, and it's 50 minutes. So today has been definitely unprecedented, but I think good research. Do you guys also sing music? Or is that just a thing that I do? I love to sing the music. You know, the dun, 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 dun. Kind of like that. Like, me too. All right, I checked the wait times again because Skull Island is just not one of my favorites, and I'd like to ride something else. But no, nothing else is higher than Skull Island. Not only that, it's spiked to 75 minutes. 75. And I'm gonna get in line for it. And I'm looking at it right now. There she is, Skull Island, the Reign of Kong. This right now, when I checked the app just a second ago, this is 75 minutes. Even Forbidden Journey was only 25, which I know that one's not necessarily a park favorite, even though it's one of my favorites. But my goodness, 75 minutes for this? Is a thrill ride here. It's a motion simulator ride where you get to go onto a mysterious island and you run into prehistoric creatures. It's very intense, and also there's a lot of use of screens on this ride. A little bit of a spoiler there, but that means if you do have sensitivity for motion sickness, this is definitely one to be cautious with. Other than that, it's pretty tame. It might be scary in some sections for kiddos, but not too bad in my opinion. So, since, oh my goodness, it says 90. It says 90. We are getting in line. We're 90 minutes for the, okay, I need to start my timer. What are the choices that are being made? Everything else so far is like 15, 20, maybe 30. 90? This is definitely something to be aware of, especially because I don't think this ride is worth that, in my opinion. Also, I think it's really important if you're coming on vacation here, this is a great example of how badly the weather can impact lines and impact those wait times. So obviously the crowd's all headed to Kong. I'm also going with them. Maybe make a different decision. Kong will definitely drop at some point today. So always keep an eye on those wait times and know that I don't think this is worth that.
Good afternoon, explorers, and welcome to Skull Island, Reign of Kong. Please be advised that we are currently operating at a limited capacity, and we are working diligently to get you to your expedition as quickly as possible. We appreciate your patience and cooperation with us, and good luck on your expedition here at Skull Island.
Well, that it tells you why it's 90 minutes, doesn't it? Half capacity. That makes a lot more sense to me now. I kind of do. That's what I look like when I don't have coffee. Oh, it went dark. It went dark. We finished Kong. It did take us about 70 minutes, but that is not that bad considering it said it was going to take us 90 and they were running at half capacity. Not upset with that at all. Again, this is not necessarily one of my favorite rides. I definitely think it has more intense, scary scenes. I know that I had several kiddos on the truck with me. They were not happy. They did not enjoy the intense scenes, the dinosaurs weren't their favorite. There were a lot of things that they just didn't really love, and I get that. As an adult, there are even moments that I kind of jump. So consider that if you have a family with you, or maybe people who just don't like more intense, scary things. And also consider that a good majority of it is screens. So if you have any sensitivity to motion sickness, that might also be an issue. I will say though, despite all of that, 70 minutes, not my favorite wait time, but I think that Kong animatronic at the end is so amazing. It really is detailed. I don't necessarily think the entire ride is worth just seeing that animatronic, but if you're curious and you want to do it, I think that's a great reason to go on it. Just checked wait times, and it does look like Hagrid's is finally back open, and it's only sitting at 40 minutes right now. Kong has also dropped back down, so you can tell that the outdoor rides did reopen because that line isn't as long. But I think to finish off our day and our experiment, because I think this has been one of the best crowd days I've personally gotten to see at Universal, I'm gonna go hop in line for Hagrid's, and we're gonna see if it's actually 40 minutes, if it's more, or if it's less. Overall, I feel like the crowds have not been bad today. Had the weather not gotten us into a different situation, I genuinely don't think we would have waited more than 40 minutes for anything. I've been super pleased with this. I'm eager to see if the rain made a few people leave or if everybody stuck around and stuck it out. Normally at Universal, everybody kind of hangs out, unlike Disney. So we're gonna see where this takes us. So if you've seen my past crowds videos, I always recommend having AirPods, games on your phones, cards, books, whatever you think will help you pass the time. But remember, if you're going to do things on your phone, try to have that portable charger. Disney and Universal both utilize fuel rods. So if you're without one and you really need one, you can use that option. But fuel rods aren't always my favorite option. They're more of a just in case. Earlier, I talked a little bit about pinch points, and pinch points are definitely great indicators of what the parks are looking like. And today, this is a great example of a pinch point not being busy. I think the rain has definitely helped us out. Hogsmeade is almost always a pinch point while I'm here. And today, I mean, although there's lots of guests, this area is pretty darn empty. So that is a great sign that the crowds are just not really here today, which is good news for you and me. All right, so we're back. It's jumped up to 60 minutes. I'm gonna hop in line, start my timer, and see how long it actually takes us. Not gonna believe this. This is real life, real truth. This room is cursed because they just announced a weather delay. We will see what happens. Fingers crossed I actually get to ride this today. Well, everybody, Hagrid's was not meant for me today because what just happened? They closed. They're done for the day. Lightning is still in the area. I could have chosen to wait in the queue if I wanted, but the team members did express that they don't believe it'll be back up today, although they did not force us out of line. I have been in line for about 80 minutes. It's not gonna work out for us, but that's okay because we still got on 3 of the biggest rides here at Universal in relatively normal and quick times, and the rest of the park still has low wait times for now. One thing that I think is really important to note is today has been crazy for wait times. They've been all over the place, some really high and some not at all. It's been a great day, honestly. If it hadn't been for weather, I think the wait times would have been capital P, perfect. I mean, I think they would have been really wonderful, but sometimes that's the gamble you take here in Florida. It's September right now, it's hurricane season, weather's gonna be all over the place, that's just normal. I think it's also really important to talk about the fact that on a normal day, normally Hagrid's and Velocicoaster will be the highest wait times in the park, with Hagrid's getting upwards of 90 and Velocicoaster around 80 on the norm. Also, with those early entry times here at Universal, resort guests can get in an hour early. Today, they could get into Islands of Adventure, where the park opened at 8. The rest of us could get in at 9 o'clock if you were not a resort guest. And then of course, because we talked about it at our Disney crowds, we have to talk about nighttime shows here at Universal. So Universal does not have nighttime shows the way that Disney does. Occasionally they will have some, especially during Halloween Horror Nights. They do have special fun little shows, but due to zonings and different things, Universal does not have a consistent nighttime show the way that Disney does. So what does that mean for you and your trip? You need to check out Universal's calendar to see if they are doing shows, and if so, what times they are doing shows. And B, it also means that you're not gonna have a drop in wait times for rides like you do at Disney. Although, one thing that I think is really important is normally Universal has that wait time drop naturally. So you don't really have to worry about lines getting really long at night, and there won't be a significant drop because of a show. There just will normally be a drop. One more thing I did really want to mention is, of course, if you know that you're going to be here during the busier seasons, during the summer and the crowd days, there are options just like the Express Pass here in Universal. The Express Pass ranges depending on when you're here in price and depending on what you're doing. You can ride each ride one time, or you can choose to upgrade and ride each ride multiple times. Of course, that is going to impact what you pay. For most of the rides, you can get the Express Lane, but for rides like Hagrid's, you cannot. So make sure you're checking out that Universal app to see if the rides you want do offer Express Pass. Thank you so much for hanging out with me in lines and crowds today. If you like this video, make sure to like and subscribe. Now go check out Quincy's entire coverage on the Halloween Horror Nights for 2022. Bye.